I'd like to talk some about politics. I think obviously we're going to probably need to talk more than once because this stuff is stuff I know you really like, and right now our culture is going through a lot of things, so we could talk for hours and hours. But let's just dip our toe in the water a little bit and talk about your political viewpoints. And people who've been on my channel know that I'm, I try to be. Well, first of all, I try to promote conversation. So just let it be said, if you're here, this is about conversation. I want Jeremy to be totally honest about his view, and then people can disagree, right?
That's right.
And we can think what we want, but the point is to have good, productive, and encouraging, hopefully, dialogue to help us all, because we're really struggling with that in a country right now, right?
Yeah, dialogue is not part of the equation. And here's the bad part: and most of the country doesn't want it to be.
That's true.
They don't even want it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's and that's humans, frankly. I mean, when we get very emotional about something, we tend to shut down and we stop listening. So, we're living in very emotional times. Also, in the future, we're going to look back and we are in the middle of like this COVID-19 situation. So someday we'll look back on this video and go, oh, right, that's when that was happening.
Yeah.
And that has flared up emotions even more.
I know.
We're in a political year and people have been quarantined in their houses and they're constantly listening to whatever news they listen to.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just exacerbated, right? Poured gasoline on some of the issues, and then the George Floyd thing happened. But let's take a step back from all that, because there's so many directions we could go. And let's just say, for you have you've been a Trump supporter, and you actually have you're a musician, kind of you write music, but it's rap music. So first of all, why rap music? How did you get into rap music?
Yeah, people ask me that question all the time. Like, how did this even happen? So I've always been a musician. I was in rock, and classic rock, hard rock bands when I was a kid. I played drums, I fiddled with guitar and other things. But I was always interested, and even way back in the early 90s, I was a lover of all music. I mean, I loved jazz, I loved rock, I loved classical, I loved rap, anything associated with hip hop. I always had a love for it. And in 2004 or 2003, 2004, I said, you know what? I'm going to start a rap career and I'm going to make it big, right? All those aspirations. But the thing was, I could rap and I could write. And I used all of the music background that I had growing up and made my own sound of rap. And I was pretty successful at it. I was traveling a lot. I was doing a lot of shows. And my last show was in Las Vegas. I was with a group of guys out there who all went out from here to perform. Wow. And I was sitting there. We'd performed, and we went to this really luxurious after party. And I was sitting there, and I go, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. I mean, the best show I ever had, the biggest show I ever had. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I don't know what it was, but I immediately missed the kids. I missed, home. I missed my wife. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. So on the plane ride home, I told the guys and the people that work with us, I said, I'm quitting. This is it. And I came home and I decided to just spend time with family. I remember spending every waking moment I could. I think everybody was sick of me, actually. And one day I went outside and I was really jazzed up about something that was going. I think it was during the Syrian refugee resettlement. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot to say. And social media was starting to be a big thing, and live video was starting to be a big thing. And I went out in my driveway and I did a rant video. And I never expected what would happen. It went super worldwide viral, millions and millions of views. radio news
so
stations.
some of you may know Jeremy from
Yeah.
that rant video. I have the ranter right
You
here.
might know. You might. Exactly.
That's cool.
So anyway, I decided at that time. I said, "Well, I'm really interested in this political, social hysteria that's going on in the world right now. It seemed to overtake everything. Seems like you can't go to the drive-through McDonald's without having a political conversation with somebody these days."
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to mix the two. I'm going to get back into the music business, but I'm not going to travel around and do shows all over. I'm just going to rap about politics and my view on politics. And just like when you say anything about it, you're going to have a whole bunch of people who love it, and you're going to have a whole bunch of people who hate it. But when it's in music form, everybody's going to listen to it.
That's right.
So I decided to do that and had a few successful songs with it.
Rap is a particularly good genre for giving a very clear-cut message too.
Yeah.
Which is
Wordplay.
what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
You're this is not nuance or some sort of read into it type music. This is like it's a form of preaching, actually, if I could put it that way.
It is.
And we're not talking, you know, in kind of like a church sense, but we are talking about in a cultural sense.
Yep.
So that's the strength of rap music. So have you, let's see, Trump came and did a rally in New Hampshire.
Yep.
And did you rap like outside
Yes,
that rally?
so he came to Manchester, I think it was in January of this year, right before
Everything.
COVID and all that. And there is a organization that he works with in Massachusetts that sells, you know, goes to all those rallies in the area, and they sell merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a big area and a big tent set up outside of the arena, and they wanted me to come perform outside for the passerbyers so they'd come in and buy stuff. But when you're out there and you got 30,000 people and you have big speakers and you're rapping about what they're there to see, you know, news stations obviously were going to come over, and if there was anything controversial about it, they were going to get it, you know, and it was and it was really nice. And I got to meet some of the people on the in the administration. I got to talk to Don Jr.
Oh, cool.
And I got to meet the current press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was real fun.
Well, you know, Kanye West, he got to go to the Oval Office, so maybe eventually, you know, your music will lead you there. I don't know. So, you know, with Trump, and now Biden is the proposed Democratic nominee, whatever they call that. Who do you think is going to win in November?
Well,
this is a fun question because nobody really knows. But
here's the best way that I can answer it. I don't think I've seen Trump so low in the polls since he beat Hillary Clinton. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
I think
it's almost a good sign. Is what you're saying, for Trump.
For Trump, exactly.
Yes.
I think I do support Trump. I do support his policies. I would like to make it clear that there's a lot of things that he says and how he says them that I 100% don't agree with.
Yeah.
I go, why would you say that? It's almost like he knows he's going to get the backlash for everything he says, right? Mm-hmm. And it's almost like he knows the level of backlash he's going to get. And it's almost like two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
So why feed into it sometimes? And I don't like the way he speaks. Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
However, I would rather have a president that doesn't say the right thing in front of a camera and does the right thing policy-wise than doesn't do the right thing policy-wise but says everything perfect on camera.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like, you know, with Obama, we had a charismatic, smart, very on cue, and empathetic president.
Sure.
But I did not agree with hardly any of his policies.
Right.
Where Trump, we have this brash billionaire who we know has had a past that would be anything but Christian, right? Yeah. But he gets the job done the way he gets the things done that I would like to see.
Yeah.
I'm more of a traditionalist, constitutionalist, libertarian. then and the only reason that I'm aligning myself with the Republican Party at all was to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I was an independent.